We start in the Middle East, and according to the Palestinian news agency Wafa, IDF has fired at an aid centre near Rafah in Gaza. This comes as US President Donald Trump announced that a ceasefire and hostage release deal between Israel and Hamas may be very close. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump said a possible agreement could be revealed within hours. This is what the US President said.
Update to the latest ceasefire agreement that Israel has agreed to, but Hamas is still considering?
Well, they're very close to an agreement on Gaza, and we'll let you know about it during the day or maybe tomorrow, and we have a chance of that. And I think we have a chance of making a deal with Iran also. They don't want to be blown up. They would rather make a deal, and I think that could happen in the not-too-distant future. That would be a great thing if we could have a deal without bombs being dropped all over the Middle East. That would be a very good thing. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
The proposed plan, known as the Witkoff deal, includes a 60-day ceasefire, the release of 28 Israeli hostages dead and alive, and over 1,200 Palestinian prisoners being exchanged. But Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz warned Hamas to accept the deal or face annihilation. Hamas says it is still reviewing the plan and consulting with other factions in Gaza. Meanwhile, the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said Gaza is the hungriest place on earth. They further stated that the enclave's entire 2.3 million people face catastrophic hunger. We head now to Europe. Russian airstrikes and shelling on southern Ukraine have reportedly killed a 9-year-old girl in Zaporizhia and a 66-year-old man in Kherson, according to Ukrainian officials. A 16-year-old boy was also injured and multiple homes were damaged in the attacks. This comes as Russia-Ukraine prepare for a second round of talks in Istanbul on June the 2nd. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has questioned Russia's commitment to the peace talks and accused Moscow of trying to make the next round fruitless, as Russia is yet to send its negotiating proposals to Ukraine, which is a key demand by Kyiv. Meanwhile, after US Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv, Graham announced that the US Senate will advance a bill next week to impose tougher sanctions on Russia and countries continuing to buy its oil and other goods. During their visit, both senators also accused the Russian president of stalling the peace process. On the other hand, Russia claims to have shot down over 1,400 Ukrainian drones in the past week and taken control of 13 settlements in Sumy, where we have also heard of reports of 11 evacuation notices in the region. Meanwhile, Ukraine, on the other hand, said its forces deployed a newly developed mobile air defense system to shoot down Russian drones over Odessa. Kyiv reported 93 frontline clashes on May the 30th alone, including the repelling of 28 Russian attacks near Pokrovsk. Moving on now, US President Donald Trump has announced plans to double tariffs on imported steel and aluminium from 25% to 50% effective from Wednesday. Speaking at a rally in Pennsylvania, Trump said the move aims to protect the US steel industry, secure jobs and reduce reliance on foreign competitors, especially China. He also highlighted a $14 billion investment partnership between the US Steel and Japan's Nippon Steel to boost domestic production. The tariff increase has sparked strong reaction internationally. Canada's Chamber of Commerce condemned the move, warning it threatens North American economic security by disrupting efficient cross-border supply chains. Australia, a key US ally, also criticised the hike as unjustified, calling it economic self-harm that will hurt consumers and businesses relying on free trade. The doubling of tariffs marks a significant escalation in Trump's ongoing global trade tensions as concerns mount over the wider impact on global markets and diplomatic relations. We stay now with trade, and US Trade Representative Jameson Greer will meet with European Union officials next week during his Europe visit. Greer said China remains the largest contributor to the US trade deficit, with the EU close behind. He'll also engage with trade officials from Malaysia, Vietnam and India, whose trade minister he's in daily contact with. Greer warned that China is not fully complying with trade agreements and called for prompt resolution. President Trump also accused China of violating tariff agreements and said the US is ready to take further action if needed. Trump announced that Pakistani representatives will visit the US to discuss trade, including tariffs. Pakistan faces a possible 29% tariff over a trade surplus. Trump warned against deals if Pakistan or India go to war, as the two have recently clashed. India, facing 26% tariffs, is close to finalising a trade deal with the US, with talks expected to conclude by July. Well, many updates in the ongoing global trade tensions. Joining us to discuss them is Dr. Jayjat Bhattacharya, President of the CDEPR, who is joining us from New Delhi. Dr. Bhattacharya, let's first discuss Trump's move to double steel and aluminium tariffs. What will the global impact of this decision be? Dr. Bhattacharya, I believe we had a connection issue there, but I want to first look at Donald Trump's move to double these tariffs for steel and aluminium. What will be the global impact? We seem to be having some issues there, but of course this move comes in the wake of growing global trade tensions and rulings in the United States as well, with a judge temporarily blocking the tariffs before it was reinstated. Moving to Africa now, flash floods have left a trail of destruction